Hey guys, Adrian Cogian here for the Digital Dojos, and today is my top 5 tips for blogging, being a better blogger in essence, and how do you go about being a better blogger? Well, this is more my tips I've compiled along the ways. I've always given tips about blogging and videos and all that, but or to be a better blogger, and I made this video more to give myself a structure to follow, because I've been lacking in a lot of these areas as well. But more of my tips that I've learned along the way, and I've written posts about these before, but I kind of want to give in a PowerPoint presentation to see how this kind of works out here. So first up, tip number 1, get organized. Very, very plain and simple, but yet this is one of the ones I lack very much so. Devise a system in some way. Now, your vlog can range on many things. You don't have to be writing about technology like I do. But if you do any sort of writing, periodically, maybe you do it once a month, twice a week, whatever it may be, or if you're like me who tries to cover news and all this crazy stuff happening in technology, it really helps to devise a system. Whether, you here I have an example calendar, Monday through Sunday here. Devise in a way where you can write posts. Maybe you want to do a review post every Monday. You want to do a guest featured blogger post that somebody else write on your blog every Thursday. Every Friday you want to do something a little bit more fun. It's the weekend. Maybe you want to do a video post every Friday. Stuff like that really I've learned, and I'm trying to get into this now, has really got me more methodically in a way, thinking every day as a certain corresponding that to a certain topic, and they're motivating me more to get that video out and kind of stay within cycle. If you're not somebody who's not as good as following, lists in order, then devise your own system. Whatever works best for you. Maybe, your goal will be get one post out at least for the week. It doesn't matter what day it's on as long as you get one post out for the week. Set something that is easy enough to set and meet your standards. So let's go to number 2. Get creative. That's very, very simple. To be a better blogger, blogging is more than just text thrown out on a page and on a website. Media. There's so much ways you can incorporate media nowadays, whether it's a simple image like this one I have in the bottom left, or it's a video like I have here. I can play this video actually. Hey guys, Adrian here. This is my and you can watch me, watch this, or you can watch that video if you so please. Like now I'm doing this presentation via Keynote. I'm using simple Keynote application to give this video tutorial, not tutorial, but I guess screencast, and I'm using my webcam built in here with ScreenFlow to kind of present this media to you, and it works out pretty cool. It's a cool way to present the the tips to you guys. So get creative, incorporate different types of media, incorporate video, incorporate audio, incorporate pictures to get your your blog post a little bit more out from the traditional reading of all this text and text thrown upon a page. Give your reader something to look at. Give them something to watch. Video, just like picture, can say 1,000 words, literally. So you don't have to type up as much as you think. If you've ever wanted to get into blogging, but you don't really necessarily are, maybe you don't have a lot to write about or something like that. Maybe you have a lot to say, but not a lot to write about. Then, say it in video. Say it with pictures. Say it with words if that's what you're really good at. Just get creative. Number 3, feedback. So feedback is very, very key. I try to do this with you guys. Leave a comment below, obviously, when you finish this video, to see what your guys' tips to blogging is, what you guys have learned if you run a blog. Feedback is key when it comes to, a lot of people say content is key. Content, in a way, is key in a sense, but I think feedback is more key, because if you do good content, obviously people will come, but if you do not get that feedback from people, then you're not really progressing, in my opinion. So the way I view it is you ask questions and ask questions in your blog posts or videos, ask responses, ask for feedback on your post. If you write a news article, for example, write on what people's opinions of that news article may be. Ask for their opinions in the comment section. And then those responses feedback into a user base. You build this little community. This is how you go about building a community. You get people's responses. You care about the people who are watching you, because they are, in essence, making your blog post, viable. They're making it a place. Maybe you don't care as much. Maybe you just want to throw your content out on the web and have it there for archival posterity. But maybe you actually want people to kind of hear what you have to say and voice your opinion. Then you need to build this user base by asking questions, building a little community, and then that user base will take it to social networks. They'll take it around the web. Them commenting kind of ups your ranking. Them taking your story and sharing it on Twitter, on Facebook, on Tumblr, builds that user base, and it changes it into a community, which then posts out to social networks and gets you tons and tons of more hits, tons of more feedback from other people, whether it's it's constructive criticism, ratings on your blog post, thumbs up on your videos, whatever it may be. You're driving traffic. It's kind of like a cycle, and interaction is very, very key to this. Get your users or readers involved in your website. Maybe host giveaways on your blog. A blog is a great platform to host giveaways, whether it's software and or hardware. Polls. There's great software out there if you're using WordPress, Squarespace, etc. Widgets that you can get to integrate polls on your blog to ask people, an opinion. Maybe, what's your favorite Linux distribution, and then you can, poll your users to see what they think, and then you can do a follow-up post on that. Q&A, question and answers are always a great way. Maybe every week you want to do a mailbag type thing where people ask you questions and you answer them in video or in a blog post. Really, really great ways to get involved and feedback within your community. Number 4, most importantly, blog for you. Before you want to worry about everybody else, I've learned it's more importantly that you blog for yourself. If the content isn't settled with you, then it doesn't really matter. You need to kind of self-approve it before anything. I mean, first off, for example, like, is the post, simple enough? Then, check. Is it, does it meet your current standards for your blog post, for your blog? Then check. If your blog is about delivering tech news and stuff like that, does it meet the standards of you're delivering content that you think is relevant for your readers and viewers, that you personally would want to read? Then otherwise, you self-check it before you go out and post it on the web. Not to say that, everybody else's opinion doesn't matter and it's only your own opinion. Because sometimes in the fact that other people aren't going to agree with what you write. Maybe it's an opinion piece. Maybe it's something a little bit off topic. I mean, sometimes I do videos related to education and how technology incorporates that, and everybody kind of goes off topic, goes off and says, this is nothing related to, technology and stuff like that. When it, when, to me, it may tie into technology in some way, but they don't see it. So, I mean, sometimes you have to be independent and blog for yourself, and blog, more importantly, self-approve your own content out there before even posting it out. Even maybe a friend or somebody to kind of proofread it, not just proofread it grammar-wise, but quality-wise. It's always a good thing. So that's definitely something to check out and keep in consideration, I should say. All right, moving on. Lastly, rake in the benefits. Actually, no, I think okay, sorry. That rake looks kind of spelled wrong there, but is that spelled with a W? I think it is. Anyways, rake in the benefits in that, when you take your blog and once you establish a good user base and stuff like that, I always say this: monetize lastly. Worry about monetization lastly. Monetize meaning generating a revenue from your blog. And there's many ways to do this. Not only monetizing, but there's also ways to rake in benefits like advertisers and audience. The audience is a powerful tool as a benefit with your blog. If you have tens of thousands of readers interested in cooking or technology, that's actually an asset, because you can go to other people and say, hey, I have these 10,000 people who are interested in what I have to say about XYZ, and maybe, there's a lot of benefits with that. You can get other companies to advertise on your site that may be similarly related to your topic. You can get them to pay you to advertise on your site. You can get them to send review products or software, etc. Numbers go a long way when it comes to PR, etc. So, I mean, how do you actually go about making the money and raking in the benefit of that? Well, there's programs like AdSense. You can get custom adverts, so you can set up your own custom adverts. So, like, you can sell space on your website. You can provide user ads, stuff like, if people want to advertise their sites on your website, $7 a month, $20 a month fee. Product reviews, like I mentioned earlier, when I got started on my technology reviews, I established an audience and I went out to companies. I said, hey, this is what I have to offer. These are my numbers. This is what I write about. Would you be interested in sending me a product to review? It's kind of just, that's a general format. Affiliate programs are also a great way to add monetization to your site. Basically, it's saying like, there's affiliate programs like Amazon where you write about, for example, let's say I wrote about this iPhone, the iPhone 4S, and then I said, hey, you can buy it over here on Amazon using my Amazon affiliate link. If people were to buy that iPhone, you get a chunk of that commission, so you get a portion of that sale. And if you drive enough users and you think that they'll buy this product, it's always nice to drop these affiliate links in. So there's so many benefits you can get from blogging, and Again, you want to worry about all these benefits and making money and all that in the end once you establish the community and all that. But it is definitely a plus to blogging. It is definitely something viable to do once you've established your blog. It's reaping the benefits. I mean, you work hard to make the blog and make the content. Why not get some benefits from it? Anyways, guys, Adrian here from Digital Dojos. Hope you guys enjoyed these top 5 blogging tips to becoming a better blogger. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out digitaldojos.com and like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.